Welcome back, welcome back. So in this one, I'm going to show you guys quickly how to send the email. So the first thing we need to do, step one, is to create a Gmail or a Google account. That's the link there. I'm going to show the entire process. Step two is to create an app password. This is going to be generated by the Google account. Step three, we need to connect to a Wi-Fi network. So I'm going to show you how to do that. Step four, get the Umail file from MicroPython and save it to the PyPico. This is the library we're going to use to send emails. Step five, get code to send email and change the necessary details. There are a ton of these online. I'm just going to grab one of them and show you how it works. Step six, check the recipient's email address. So the person you want to send it to, get the email address. Now, I would recommend using your own college email, your own personal email address, and just doing it that way. And step seven, we're just going to jump in screen because everything works and they're going to be super, super amazing. So let's make a start. So here we are on the link that I'm going to put in the description. Simply click on the link, or you could Google create Gmail account. Once that comes up, you simply have to click on the first link that says create a Gmail account. It's exactly the same link. It takes you to exactly the same place. Really doesn't matter. Create a Google account. Follow the steps. Please, 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 please be sure to make note of your email address and your password. Okay, we're not going to keep this email address. So once we're finished using this, I would highly recommend you delete the email address. Reason being, it's nice for the rest of us that have Gmail accounts and everyone that wants to use it later on. If you don't delete it, the servers are going to get filled up with all these people that create Gmail accounts just for this purpose, never use it again, and it's just going to be a mess. So please, once you're finished, delete the account. All right, I'm going to show that at the end of this series of videos. So create your account, make a note of your email address, your password, write it down, save it on a text file, Word document, whatever you need to do. Another thing you have to do before you can actually get your app password is something known as two-factor or two-step verification. So please click on this, follow the steps, put your phone number in, but once you finish, delete everything. You need to have this on before you can get your app password. So when I click on it, this is what you'll see. Now I won't show my steps here because I have to put my phone number in or another email address. So after you've turned on your two-factor authentication, you're going to be on your account. You could be in any one of these tabs. All you need to do to get to these tabs is to go click on your name over here and click on manage your Google account. Once you're in here, the easiest way to find your app password section, click in the search bar at the very top, type app space password, and it should come up. It should say app passwords here. Click on that link. It's going to ask you to log in. I don't remember my details because I just created this email address. So put your details in here, your username and password. Click next. It's going to ask you select app. Now the one you're going to choose for this is obviously mail. Select device. It's not going to be on here, so you're going to do other. And it's going to be Raspberry Pi Pico. You name it. It doesn't really matter what it is. You name it. So I'm going to say RASPBER, Raspberry Pi Pico. Let's put the spaces in. Let's see if that works. Click generate. Once it's been generated, you're going to copy this code here. This is the code you're going to need. So I'm going to highlight it, right click, copy, or simply do Control C. I'm going to paste this into my Word document here. The next thing we need to do is to test that we can actually connect to a Wi-Fi network. So create a blank file, put your details in. These details here, the Wi-Fi name, this is a variable name, so this can be anything, is equal to, and in quotes, so this needs to be a string. Case sensitivity is important, so uppercase letters have to be uppercase and so on. Type the Wi-Fi name exactly how it appears. Now, this is the name of the actual Wi-Fi. I have a mobile modem, So this is a 4G modem. I would highly suggest and recommend you or your teachers get one of these for this to actually work. Reason being, most schools, most colleges will have security measures in place to ensure that this does not work. Right? So no matter how much you try to connect, unless you've been given permission by the IT personnel, this just won't work. So this is the name of the Wi-Fi, and the Wi-Fi password is more or less the same thing, variable name equals, and then this needs to be a string as well, even though it's numbers, that's perfectly fine. Save this as whatever you want. Let me close this one. So this is what you'll need. Wi-Fi name, Wi-Fi password in a separate file. It doesn't have to be in a separate file, but it's always good to have these details put somewhere else, right? In the actual test program, I'm going to give a link to where I found this actual program. I copied it from the internet. This is not my own. As you can see, I've left all the comments in there as well. Under where you have import network and import U requests, you're going to have import. This needs to be the name of the file that you just created. So 01. So that's the name of this file. So you put the details in here. When you go to save it, it comes up with the Raspberry Pi Pico, or it comes up with this computer. Save it to Raspberry Pi Pico and name it something sensible. When you come to the file, I'm going to give you a link, copy and paste everything, save it. All I've done here is I've put this in. You don't 100% need this. You could simply, SSID, you could simply type the name here. It's not a big deal. This is just an extra step. So maybe that's what I should actually do. Just type SSID, name of the Wi-Fi here in quotes. It must be in quotes, okay? Password is going to be exactly the same thing. The name or the details that you use to log into the password, and that must also be in quotes. I've done something special here where I can just import this stuff, but again, you don't need to do this. You can just import it. But if you want to do it, you have to simply import the name of the Python file you just used. And then down here, you call the Python file and the thing you want from the Python file. So you say Python file name, which is 010 mobile Wi-Fi for me. And I say dot, that tells me I need to get a specific thing from that file. And the thing I need to get is a variable called Wi-Fi name. And that's just going to stick that where it says SSID, which is the name of the network. Same thing for password, but obviously I changed Wi-Fi name to Wi-Fi password. That's it. But again, please note, this is not essential. You can get rid of all of this. Let's just show this anyway, 010. So I can just grab this here. We can get rid of all of this and we can simply do that. And the password, I can simply copy this over. I can get rid of all of this and do that. It will work in exactly the same way, but I'm just being extra. That's all it is, right? Now, this code here, once you connect to your Wi-Fi network, once you've typed all the details in correctly, this will connect. Once you have all your details correct in this Wi-Fi test, all you have to do, no, I've already run this, but all you have to do then click run or play or whatever IDE you're using. Once you do that, it's going to come up with this message here. Let me just drag this up. Once it comes up with this, that's downloaded all the contents of that or printed all the contents of the HTML file. That tells you this is working okay, you're connected to the internet, all is good. If you don't get this message, you would have done something wrong, or your Raspberry Pi is not able to connect to the Wi-Fi network you're using. So use another one, maybe just hotspot your phone for a few minutes, test it, and you should be good to go. What you would need to do to download the Umail file, simply scroll all the way down until you get to this section. One second. This section here. All you have to do is copy all of this. So use your mouse to highlight it. Highlight every single thing in that grayish looking box until you get to the very end where it says self.socket close. Let go. Right click. Copy. You're going to go to your funny at this point. You're going to do file. You're going to go to new and you're going to simply paste all that stuff there. Once you paste it, all you then have to do is to save this on the Raspberry Pi Pico. So once you choose to save it, so go to file again, go to save, choose Raspberry Pi Pico, and the name must be umail.py, all lowercase. If it is not this, this process will not work. So please ensure that everything is typed exactly how it is on the website, umail.py. I already have a copy on my Raspberry Pi Pico, so I'm going to leave this. I'm going to cancel it, but you should click OK. Once you click OK, the file is going to be saved onto your Raspberry Pi Pico. Back onto this website now. They've actually given us every single thing that we need. So the section that says MicroPython code to send email, we're going to make a copy of this. So what I'm going to do again is cheat. I'm going to highlight all of this. I will put this website link in the description, highlight every single thing here, Control C to copy or right click and copy. I'm going to go back to my funny, my IDE. Now I'm going to create a new file. So again, I go to File and I go to New. Once I'm here, I'm going to paste all the contents from that website, everything pasted in here. And all I need to do now is make a few changes. But before I do that, I'm going to save it. I'm going to do File, Save, or I can click on that diskette thing there, File, Save, or Control S. Choose Raspberry Pi Pico, and I'm going to call this send email.py. I'll leave, you know what, let's do underscore here. Let's do up to number 13 underscore send email. Click OK. You're going to need to go in here and make a few changes, but you should only need to make changes to the stuff at the very top. Reason being, this person who created this website is actually using Gmail as their thing as well. So you shouldn't need to change much. So I'm going to scroll down here and where it says the SSL, not the SSL, sorry, the port numbers that we need to have here, these should be perfectly okay for Gmail. Now, if you're using something like Outlook or iMail, iCloud, or whatever it is you're using, you're going to need to go in and find out what their details are. This is why I actually said use Gmail, because most people doing this have tested it with Gmail and it works perfectly fine. So what we need to do, go to the very top of this, SSID. This is going to be the name of your Wi-Fi. And again, if I do mobile Wi-Fi, I think it was 08. No? Where is it? Mobile Wi-Fi 07. You can copy this and put this in that section there. But because I am going to be using my home Wi-Fi details now, mine is going to be slightly different. So right under where it says import network, I'm going to simply paste my import zero home Wi-Fi details. Reason being, I don't want you guys to see my Wi-Fi details, so I'm going to leave it like that. SSID name or SSID, this is going to be the name. So all I have to do is replace this. I'm going to put that, and then I'm going to put dot Wi-Fi underscore name. Now I don't need this part here at the beginning. That's fine. I'm going to copy this again. And for here where it says password, I'm going to get rid of that. Paste. I'm going to put dot Wi-Fi underscore password. And now my password and my username are in there. So sender's email address. This is going to be the email address that you created. So let me separate this stuff here. So sender's email. The first thing I need to grab is my actual email address I just created. So it's going to be runstechhub@gmail.com. Again, this will be deleted, so there's no point in even trying to do anything. Inside the quotes is where you want to copy and paste that email address, like so. Sender's name, mail client. To be fair, you don't need to change this, but you could put something like Pi Pico home alarm system, something, whatever you want. It doesn't really matter. You can decide. This is the name that's going to show up as the person who sent it. Sender's app password. So that's that special number I copied from Gmail. I'm going to copy this again. This is why you guys needed to make note of this. App password, copy it. And where it says sender's app password, inside quotes again, you paste that. Now it can be single quotes or double quotes. It doesn't really matter, but I wouldn't change anything from here. Recipient's email. Now I'm going to use mine. I'm just going to use Runs Tech Hub. Runs Tech Hub at gmail.com, and that's it. Email subject, I call this Pi, let's call this home alarm system. Let's maybe change the name to, I don't know, front door, because I might have multiple items in the house. So this might be the one by the front door, this might be the one by the back door, upstairs window, whatever the case is. I believe that's everything I need to change. Now I can come down here and put some stuff in here as well and change like from and subject, but I really don't want to mess with any of that. So I think once I run this, I should be okay. So let me open my email for Runs Tech Hub and then I'll try and test it. Right, so on the left, I have my Funny IDE running, and on the right, I have my Chrome browser and my Gmail email opened up for Ron's Tech Hub. So I've put all my details in here. Now, all I need to do, if everything is correct, now I will hide this section down here, which you can probably see being highlighted a bit. I will hide that because it does have a lot of information there I don't want anyone to have. So once I click on run, again, I haven't changed anything else except for the sender and receiver details and also the username and password for the Wi-Fi network. I'm going to click run. Keep an eye on the window on the right, which has my email opened up. There should be something popping up soon because Gmail is relatively quick with emails. So let's see what comes up. Let's see, it's taking its time. There we go. Perfect. Front door, home alarm system, test email from ESP32. Okay, you can probably change test email from ESP32 and put whatever microcontroller you're using. So as we can see, that notification thing actually 100% works, which means you're technically finished because the criteria, the assignment brief only said you need to send the user notification. This is a perfectly valid notification because they didn't specify what kind of notification you needed to send. So I'm just going to go down here and change a few things. Test email sent from, I'm going to put Raspberry Pi Pico. All right, Raspberry Pi Pico W. That's going to be the signature, the thing that popped up on this side here. That's it. You're actually done sending the email. So I might do the text message if I can figure out if Twilio, that's the thing I used years and years ago. If that still works, I'll show you guys how to send a text message. If it doesn't work, we'll just move on to the other section. So thank you guys for watching. Hopefully that was useful. For me, that was very fun. Again, the Raspberry Pi Pico is under $10. Has, well, under £10, sorry. Has Bluetooth built in, has Wi-Fi built in. I can connect to a network really easily and email and send text messages and send notifications. It's really nice. So in any case, thanks for watching and on to the next one.